Hi friends. Welcome to your favorite YouTube channel. It's Crazy World for you. Please continue supporting us by like, share, subscribe and comment. Let's get into the video. We'll talk about the first elections in different countries. Elect means choose someone to hold public office or some other position by voting. As per history, elections were used in ancient Greece and ancient Rome. Well, almost all countries in the world goes for election to form the government. Let's see when the first election was conducted in some countries across the world. United States had its first quadrennial presidential elections in 1788-89 under the new constitution ratified in 1788. The elections were held from December 15, 1788 to January 10, 1789. George Washington was unanimously elected as the first President of United States under the new Constitution, and John Adams was elected as the Vice President. British had its first general election in 1708 after the Acts of Union and United Parliaments of England and Scotland. The elections were held from 30th of April 1708 to 7th of July 1708. French had its first presidential elections in 1848. The elections were held on 10th of December 1848. Louis Napoleon Bonaparte won the elections with 74% of votes. Germany had its first federal elections on 3rd of March 1871. With 52% voter turnout, the National Liberal Party emerged as the largest party by winning 125 seats out of 382. Canada had its first federal elections in 1867. The elections were held from 7th August to 20th September. Australia had its inaugural parliament elections in 1901. The elections were held on 29th and 30th March. Before independence, India had its first election in 1920. The elections were conducted to elect members to the Imperial Legislative Council and provincial councils. Post-independence, in 1951-52 India had its first general elections for Lok Sabha. The elections were conducted from 25th of October 1951 to 21st of February 1952. The Indian National Congress, INC, led by Jawaharlal Nehru stormed into power by winning 364 out of 489 seats. Thus, Jawaharlal Nehru became the first democratically elected Prime Minister of India.
We will see the election date or days in different countries. Most of the countries in the world goes for voting on Sunday. World's largest economy US goes for voting on first Tuesday in November. India, one of the largest democratic country in the world, goes for voting over a period of few weeks. Australia goes for voting on Saturday for federal, state and most local elections. The Latin American country Brazil goes for voting on first Sunday of October. Canada goes for voting on weekday. It goes for voting on third Monday of October. Elections in Czech Republic starts on a Friday afternoon and ends on Saturday afternoon. Elections in Norway are set by the king. Generally, the elections are conducted on Monday. Another country which goes for election in weekdays is South Korea. South Korea usually goes for election on Wednesday. South Korea declares national holiday on election day. Sweden goes for elections on second Sunday of September.
We will see the age limit set by different countries for contesting different elections. For contesting federal, state or local government elections in Australia, the Australian citizen must be of 18 or more years age. Brazil got different ages for contesting different elections. For president, vice president or senator elections, the minimum age required is 35 years. For state governor or vice governor elections, the minimum age required is 30 years. For federal or state deputy, mayor or vice mayor, the minimum age required is 21 years. For city councilman, the minimum age required is 18 years. In China, 45 years is the minimum age for contesting president or vice president post. In Cyprus, 35 years is the minimum age for contesting president post. In France, 18 years is the minimum age to contest for president post or contesting for lower house of parliament. For contesting to Senate, the minimum age required is 24 years. In Germany, the minimum age required for contesting the president election is 40. However, a German with 18 years of age can contest in national, regional or local elections. In Greece, any Greek citizenship holder with 25 years of age can contest for parliament. In India, the minimum age required to contest for each position is different. Here are the limits. For president, vice president, governor, lieutenant governor, the minimum age is 35 years. To be a member in upper house in parliament, or the upper house of a state legislature, the minimum age required is 30 years. The candidate must be 25 years of age to become the Prime Minister, Lok Sabha Speaker, Union Minister, Chief Minister, Vidhan Sabha Speaker, Minister in state governments. To become a mayor, chairman, corporators or councillors or ward members, the minimum age required is 21 years. Like India, Indonesia also got different age limits for different positions. They are: minimum age limit for president or vice president is 35 years. Minimum age limit for governor or lieutenant governor is 30 years. For regent, vice-regent, mayor, deputy mayor, the minimum age limit is 25 years. To become a senator or representative, the minimum age limit is 21 years. To become a member of Knesset or a municipality, the minimum age required is 21 years. To be a candidate for the Prime Minister's post, the person should be a member of Knesset and minimum of 30 years old. To contest in Council of Regions, provinces or municipalities, the minimum age required is 18 years. To become President of the Republic, the minimum age required is 50 years. To become Senator, the minimum age required is 40 years. In Japan, 25 years is the minimum age limit to contest for members of parliament. For contesting as governor, the candidate must be 30 years of age. In Netherlands, the candidate must be 18 years age to contest in any public elections. In North Korea, any person with 17 years of age can contest in the elections. In Singapore, 45 years is the minimum age required to contest in the president elections. In the United Kingdom, a person must be aged 18 or over in Northern Ireland, England, and Wales, and 16 or over in Scotland to stand in elections to all parliaments, assemblies. For presidential elections, the minimum age required is 35 years. For senator, the minimum age is 30 years. For representatives, the minimum age is 25. We will see the age limit set by different countries for contesting different elections.
Countries like Greece, Indonesia, North Korea, Sudan, East Timor set 17 years as the minimum age for voting. Argentina, Austria, Brazil, Cuba, Ecuador, Jersey, Malta, Nicaragua. Scotland set 16 years as the limit for voting. Bosnia, Serbia, Montenegro gave special privilege to their employees. Employees between the age of 16 and 18 can vote in these countries. Voting age in Australia is 18 years. As per Australian law, every Australian citizen attaining 18 years are required to register to vote and participate in the federal elections. If anyone failed to vote, then they will be fined $20. If fine is not paid, then the fine will be increased up to $180 and can result in criminal charge. Brazil made 16 years as the voting age for its citizen. Voting is mandatory for every citizen between the age of 18 and 69 but optional for illiterate citizens. If anyone failed to vote, then they will be fined. In Dominican Republic, Minimum age to vote is 18 years and voting is compulsory for married persons regardless of age. Armed forces and national police can't vote. In Estonia, for local elections 16 years is the age limit to vote. For all other elections it's 18 years. In Israel, for municipal elections the minimum age limit for voting is 17 years. For all other elections it's 18 years. In Paraguay, 18 years is the minimum age to vote and it's compulsory to vote till the age of 75. Peru is same as Paraguay with little different on the maximum age for compulsory voting. Its minimum age to vote is 18 years and voting is compulsory till the age of 70. Till 1988, the minimum age for voting in India was 21 years. The 61st Amendment of the Constitution in 1988 lowered the voting age to 18 years. Selected states in Germany have given 16 years as the minimum age requirement to vote in local elections.
Do you think your one vote is not going to make the difference to the election results? Then see how the one vote changed history of world or destiny of a candidate. One vote saved a US president from impeachment. Andrew Johnson was the 17th President of America from 1865 to 1869. Johnson vetoed many of the bills passed by the Congress. He vetoed so many bills that he was started calling as the veto president. Obviously the Congress did not like this and felt that Johnson was misusing his powers. So, the Congress wanted to remove Johnson from the post of president. To remove the president, the voting should get 2/3 of the total votes. But the Senate voted to acquit Johnson by margin of 1 vote. Out of 54 votes, 36 votes were required to convict, but surprisingly 35 votes were polled in support of conviction and 19 votes against the conviction. So, Johnson was saved by 1 vote. 1 vote decided the President of United States. In 1876 elections, Rutherford B. Hayes from Republican Party and Samuel J. Tyden from Democratic Party contested for the post of president. Hayes got over 4 million votes, which is 47.9%, and Tyden got close to 4.28 million votes, which is 50.9%. So Tyden won the popular vote by a huge margin of 250,000 votes. But surprisingly, in the electoral votes Hayes got 185 votes whereas Tyden was managed to get only 184 votes. So Hayes became the President of US by winning by 1 vote. 1 vote made a government to lose its power. Atal Bihari Vajpayee's government, NDA, lost confidence motion by 1 vote. In 1999, opposition started no confidence motion against the government. BSP MPs promised to the government to support them and vote against the no confidence motion. But on the day of voting, BSP MPs voted against the government. The BJP ruling coalition, the National Democratic Alliance, NDA, secured 269 votes while the opposition got 270. So, the government lost the power because of 1 vote. Candidate lost MLA position by 1 vote. In Karnataka Assembly elections held in 2004, A.R. Krishnamurthy of Janata Dal, secular, lost to R. Dhruvanarayan of Congress by just 1 vote. But the surprising part is that Krishnamurthy, who lost the election, stopped his own driver from voting. 1 vote denied Chief Minister post. During the 2008 Assembly elections, C.P. Joshi was the state Congress party chief of Rajasthan state. Joshi lost the assembly elections to Kalyan Singh of BJP by single vote. Again, the surprising part is that Joshi's mother, wife and driver did not go to vote. Hope you understood the value of one vote. We will talk about some interesting facts about elections. Switzerland uses direct democracy to run their government. India follows indirect democracy. Indians elect their representatives to run the government. New Zealand is the first self-governing colony in the world in which all women are given the right to vote in parliamentary elections. However, till 1919 women were barred from standing for election. French voters are registered automatically. Yes, people in France are not required to worry about taking time to register their votes. In France, the voting age is 18 years. Once a citizen attains 18 years, the government automatically registers the voters. Swedish voters are registered automatically. Like French people, Swedish also need not worry about taking time to register votes. Sweden relies on tax registries to create the list of eligible citizens to vote. The government automatically registers the voters whenever they are eligible. Voting is compulsory in Australia. As per Australian law, every Australian citizen attaining 18 years are required to register to vote and participate in the federal elections. If anyone fail to vote, then they will be fined $20. If fine is not paid, then the fine will be increased up to $180 and can result in criminal charge. Estonia provides online voting facility to its voters. Yes, the European country Estonia provides an online voting facility to its citizens. Estonia introduced online voting in 2005 so that the citizens need not to wait in the line at their local polling stations. But the interesting part is, in-person voting is still popular in Estonia. How Estonia was able to provide the online voting? Well, it's because every Estonian citizen receives a scannable ID card and PIN. These scannable ID card and PIN can be used for fulfilling number of civic responsibilities like filing taxes, paying fines, etc. So, on the day of elections, the Estonians' ID card and PIN are used to confirm their identity to cast their vote. Thinking about the confidentiality of the vote? No problem, the vote itself is encrypted, making the vote anonymous. North Korea also conducts election. But the election process is nowhere near to the democracy. The citizens don't have much options to elect. In the polling booth, two boxes will be kept. One indicates support, and another indicates rejection. Generally, citizens will not drop their ballot in the rejection box. Even if dropped, the votes in the reject box will not be counted. Even being from the royal family, the Queen of England also eligible for vote. But she does not vote because the convention is that the Queen is above politics. Astronauts also can vote. Astronauts aboard the International Space Station have had the ability to vote since 1997, when Texas lawmakers passed a measure that allowed secure ballots to be sent to space by Mission Control in Houston, Texas. Once astronauts make their selections, their votes will be beamed back down to Earth in the form of PDF. Clerks at the Space Center will open the encoded documents and submit a hard copy of the astronaut's ballot to be counted. As discussed in the beginning, voting means electing someone to hold the position. But this country elects to decide whether to grant citizenship in their country or not. In Liechtenstein, voters vote for approving citizenship. Liechtenstein is a tiny country in Europe with a population of 37,000 citizens. In Liechtenstein, citizens vote for politicians, referendums, and whether to grant citizenship to those who have applied after residing in the principality for 10 years or more. Hope you learned something from our video. Thank you for watching.